I'm Vance Bastion here with my co-host S.A. Baz Collins for this week's Written on the Edge Season 9 Episode 30 interview. We'll be talking with Tony Maietta and discussing his podcast, Going Hollywood, that he runs with a friend of our show, Brad Shreve, as well as his novel and other projects. So let's get to know our guest.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Tony.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm excited to be a last minute step in for Brad.
Woohoo! And
It's
thank you
okay.
for doing it. That's very gracious of you.
Oh, please. I'm delighted to be on your podcast. I love it. Brad's in Hawaii. So aloha, Brad. I
Aloha,
hope,
Brad.
I hope you make it back. Crazy stuff happening out there.
So, how did you get your start as a creative individual? I mean, obviously you threw yourself into film young. Where did
In a
that
manner of
passion come
speaking.
in a manner of speaking? So where did that passion come from, though?
Well, I wanted to be I wanted to be an actor. I'm still an actor occasionally. I mean, when they'll hire me, I'll do it. I always wanted to. I loved television and film from my earliest memories. I joke about my earliest memory of life being the first episode of the Mary Tyler Moore Show, which tends to age me, but that's okay. I don't mind anymore.
Right.
Here you go. See, it could be a rerun, right? It could have been TV Land.
Right, of
Exactly.
course.
Nobody knows. So that was that's kind of where it began. And I knew that I wanted to be there. That's where I wanted to be. That's where I felt I should be. I'm like, why am I here in Western Pennsylvania? I need to be, wherever they are, Minneapolis, wherever. I thought it was
Right,
Minneapolis,
right.
but obviously it was Studio City, but still I wanted to be there.
Yep.
And that's how that started. I studied theater. I did a lot of stage work. I did some great indie movies when I first came to Hollywood. My very first job was on The Golden Girls, which also has a tendency to age me, but that's okay. I can always say I did that.
Nice.
And I always liked to write. Writing was always a passion of mine, but I never really considered it anything I wanted to pursue because I wanted to be on camera. I wanted to be an actor. And then,
Right.
but my mother always said, "You're a writer," and I'd say, "I'm an actor." And she'd say, "You're a writer," and she was right. So
Mother's
listen
not
to your
best.
mother.
Yeah, right.
So I have found a great way to encapsulate all of that and just say you're a storyteller.
I like that. That's what I'm going to say from now on. Screw that actor, writer, or producer. You know what? I'm a
Right.
storyteller.
There you go.
That's it.
Love it.
One moniker. That's it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Make your life easy.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got three big things to discuss: your podcast, your book, and your documentary. Where do you want to
Yeah.
start?
I guess we can start with
Pick a card, any card.
pick. Well, since it's right behind me,
Yes.
let's talk about the book. The book. Actually, we got some really interesting news this morning about the book. Fingers crossed. There's the book is The Marble Faun of Grey Gardens, which I co-wrote with Jerry Torre, who is the Marble Faun. For those people who are familiar with the 1975 documentary Grey Gardens, about Edith Bouvier Beale and her daughter Edie, little Edie, so Big Edie and little Edie. Jerry was the handyman, the 16-year-old runaway who Edie nicknamed the Marble Faun. So our book is about his adventures with them and also his life before and after. It's kind of like a universal story of he's a gay man. He deals with a lot of issues. Currently, to this day, he's HIV positive. But he's sort of thriving, as Carrie Fisher would say, in his life. And so the book is about that. It's also, but I feel it's like a universal story.
Mhm.
And it's done very well. It came out in 2018. We have developed there is a dramatic version of it, a limited series version of it that we're out there pitching. We got pretty far, then the strikes happened, and we're like, okay, got to step off for a bit. Which, welcome to Hollywood.
Everybody go
Mhm.
bake bread.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. Where's all the yeast? Can't find the yeast. It's like the pandemic. But that's still happening. And we, hopefully we're going to get a UK version going, which I'm really excited about. So that's one of the big things. It just continues to go. I mean, we started writing this book in 2012, so long ago that Albert Maysles was alive and did the introduction, which was thrilling, but Albert passed away some years ago. So what I find exciting about the book is the story is it just keeps going. It's never ending. It's kind of like Grey Gardens itself.
Mm,
I don't know how familiar you guys are with Grey Gardens,
very.
but I'm assuming you are because, I think most gay men, at least
Yeah.
of any cachet that I'm interested in,
Don't
know
you get
about
your,
Grey
don't you
Gardens.
still get your trial copy of the DVD along with the
Yes.
toaster oven?
Yes, and your copy of Fun and Girl. It's Fun and Girl,
Right,
Grey
right,
Gardens, and a
exactly.
There you
toaster
go,
oven.
yep.
Right, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. But I mean, so it's like Grey Gardens, it just keeps going. And so I'm very excited about whatever happens in the future with our book. That's really exciting. Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. Maybe we'll be doing one of these and I'll be in the UK next time. That would be a lot of fun.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. So that has kind of led me in all kinds of interesting different directions that I never imagined. And it's quite an exciting ride. It really is.
Nice.
Yeah.
And award-winning documentary.
Oh, yeah. So I
Oh,
also do
that.
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 In addition to, I needed prompting. In addition to writing, I also I'm a film historian. They say, I don't
Hmm.
know. I always trying to avoid that moniker because then I feel like the onus to know everything,
Right.
and I don't know everything, So it's kind of like, all right, I'll be one, but let's talk for be
Right.
realistic here. But I work with a wonderful production company called Wichita Films, which ironically is based in Paris. So there's a whole story about why it's called Wichita. But anyway, our most recent documentary was on Mary Pickford, which was really exciting. I love Mary Pickford. Mary Pickford has been kind of a theme of my life as a film historian. And it just won the audience prize at the American International Documentary Film Festival in April. So, yeah, that was really
Congratulations.
exciting. We've been in the running before, myself and these wonderful producers. Their names are Clara and Julia Cooperberg. And we've been in the running for a lot of these festivals, but to win an audience award.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think we just froze.
Tony, can you hear us?
As I say, we
Okay,
discuss.
okay, okay.
I get
Sidebar. You froze for a good chunk of that.
Yep.
Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. My
No, no.
internet's
If you could take it up from winning at the festival, that was
okay.
about where you froze.
Okay, cool. So the documentary Mary Pickford, it's called Mary Pickford. What's it called?
A blessing and a curse?
That's it. Thank you. So the documentary sidebar.
You need to take Vance with you wherever you
He knows my bio.
go. He'll lean in every now and then and just give you your line.
The documentary Mary Pickford, A Blessing and a Curse, won the audience award at the American International Documentary Film Festival just this past April. So that was really exciting. We've been in a lot of documentaries in the running, but to win was really gratifying and a lot of fun.
That's huge.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
See,
Let's hope. We're hoping.
I think just listening to how you're talking about this, I think you should say you're the Rod Serling of film historians because you tell the interesting stories nobody else
I did.
tells.
Well, I used to call myself the gay Robert Osborne, but then that's a little redundant. That's a little redundant. So, and I knew him and I worked with him, and he was a great man. But yeah, that's pretty much what I am is the gay Robert Osborne. And so yeah, and now the newest thing is this podcast that I'm doing with the absent Brad Shreve, called Going Hollywood. And it's a lot of fun. It's a conversation about film. We debate them, we disagree a lot, we discuss. It's a lot of fun because it's unscripted,
Mhm.
which, to some people's, is kind of terrifying because I never know what he's going to ask me. I never know what his opinion's going to be, which actually kind of gives it I like it because it gives us an air of excitement because,
Mhm.
it's all spontaneous. It's the actor in me. I have parameters, I have bullet points, but let's get in there and just see what happens.
Right.
And that's when you get the really fun stuff. And
Right.
I'm sure you guys know when you talk to people, you're like, what?
Yeah.
What did they just
We
say?
always tell them wander, wander, wander. That's where the gems
Yeah.
are found.
Yep, exactly.
Because you never know. That's where inspiration is
Mhm.
in that moment where you're totally open. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And Brad comes up with some interesting takes on things. And I'm just kind of like, okay, all right, yeah,
Where are we
we can
going with
talk
that?
about that. We can talk about that, but we're trying very much to keep it broader, like we did.
Oh,
Got it
no.
again.
We did this.
Uh,
this one thing where I gave me a film to watch, way out there, and I gave him Babyface
Tony,
to watch. I froze again.
I need to. Yeah, you froze again right at the word broader.
Oh God, I'm sorry. My internet is
No,
terrible.
I think there might be another Kamala Zoom going on because
Yeah, it's probably eating up all the Zoom space.
Jeez. So where
There's
did I freeze?
us, and then there's
at,
Kamala going through the pipe.
at broader.
I've broader at broader.
Yeah.
What was broader?
The broader scope of the conversation.
The broader scope. Let me just go back to.
Yep.
I'll just go back to Going Hollywood, and hopefully we can piece it in.
Oh,
I'm trying to remember the broader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Not your fault.
Broader scope of the conversation. So what we try to do is it's unscripted. He gives me a film. I give, I never know where he's going to go, I guess, with that. And he doesn't know where I'm going to go either. I think because I'm an actor and I like the improvisatory quality of it. I have parameters. We have parameters. We have things we're going to talk about, but we never know where the conversation is going to go. And that's where the gold is very frequently, as I'm sure you guys find out.
Yep.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. He gave me, we gave each other films to talk about. And I gave him, I'm a film historian, so I gave him Babyface, which is a 1933 pre-code film. And for people who don't know what pre-code is the era in Hollywood right after sound, before the production code was enforced. So filmmakers were doing all kinds of crazy things with films. I mean, sex, drugs, you name it, it was happening. And then the code came down and everybody got sanitized. And so I gave him Baby. I'll watch it for Ryan Reynolds. Let me tell you right now. But was from 1933, a pre-code film, which for people who don't know what pre-code is, it's right after sound. It was before the production code was strictly enforced. So these movies in the early 30s were crazy, insane, salacious, drugs, sex. It was nuts. It's called Babyface. It's a hysterically funny film with Barbara Stanwyck. It's not funny comedy. It's just funny the things that she does in this film, because you're like, what's going on here? And so the movie that Brad gave me was Deadpool. And I was like, all right, yeah, exactly. I'm like, you know what, Ryan Reynolds, I can deal with it. I can deal with it. It was a lot of fun, actually. So that's basically it. It's very unstructured, very conversational, which is how I like things to be in anything I do. I like the conversation because you never know where it's going to go. Unscripted we could be off in some left field, but hopefully it's entertaining.
I think it's interesting because there are a couple of YouTube channels that I follow every now and then, and there's one where a guy that talks about things in mainstream culture that he associates with his being gay. And we've had Larry Duplashan on our show, who's also a writer, and he wrote a book that was adapted by Patrick Ian Polk. And so we were talking about his stuff, and he wrote a book recently that's called The Movies That Made Me Gay. And I'm wondering, have you guys ever thought of doing it from that perspective, a list of movies that made you guys gay or that you attribute to your gayness?
You froze briefly. Sidebar. You guys froze briefly. So just give me the last thing you said.
Have you thought about doing a series of discussions on movies that made me gay?
Oh, that's a great idea. I feel like our show is always that, though. It's so crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, specifically for queer culture, saying, when I saw this, alarm bells went off.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea. I think that is an interesting idea. Maybe we'll do that as a sidebar, because we're always trying to think of interesting and different films to do and try to make it broader. Kind of hit the broad spectrum of films. Like we're doing Chinatown next week, which I don't know how familiar you guys with Chinatown.
Oh yeah,
Jesus,
yeah,
it's like the mountaintop
the
of
two
films.
The two
Jakes, and there's the two Jakes too. Yeah. But so we try to do that, we're doing Chinatown, and then last week we did Postcards from the Edge, so which could very well fit into your thing, like movies that made me know I was gay, was when I would quote, Postcards from the Edge incessantly. So we try to keep it broad, but that's a great idea. I love that idea.
Yeah,
it's definitely something to do.
There's just things. I mean, even when I was a child, there were things that Funny Girl. We mentioned it earlier.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, I'm there.
Hello. Yeah. Auntie Mame. We were talking about, the fabulous Rosalind Russell. I mean, is Auntie Mame not the gayest not gay movie there is.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
it's written by
it's such a
bisexual, so there you go.
it's a joyous, wonderful experience. I love seeing Auntie Mame in a theater. Outfest here in Los Angeles used to do every Christmas they had a screening of Auntie Mame, and seeing Auntie Mame with your community, with your people,
Oh,
is
wow.
just the most wonderful, joyous thing I think and that's the thing about movies, isn't it? Movies were designed to be that way. They are a communal experience. And we get out of that so much because we're watching movies on our phone or on our TV. We don't realize, no, they were designed so for a communal experience. And when you're in with like-minded people, when you're with your chosen family, watching one of the funniest, most joyous films ever made, you couldn't have a better Christmas as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
I love it. I love it.
And all the gays know the lines.
Oh yeah, and it gets
Oh, yeah.
annoying because they say them. You know, you get someone sitting in front of you who says it before the screen
It
says it.
actually
You're like,
happens, yeah.
and you want to say, "Shut
In
up."
time.
Would you let Rosalind Russell say it? Would you let Peggy Cass say it, please? I was one other early memory, not so early, but I remember seeing Yentl. Hello, talking about movies that, I mean, God, man, to be in Yentl, the swimming scene. Okay, all right. Oh, there we are. Okay, you guys, are we back? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Mandy Patinkin, the swimming scene. I mean, I was like, hello, what? I didn't know what was going on. But there was a woman in front of me who was singing all the songs. Clearly, she had the soundtrack. And,
Right.
yeah, exactly. So this woman singing all the songs in front of me. I'm like, can you let Streisand sing, please? It's very funny. But that's definitely a movie that it was like, oh, knew I was gay when I saw that.
So if folks want to listen to the podcast and pick their listen stations, they should go to goinghollywoodpodcast.com.
Correct. Goinghollywoodpodcast.com. It's on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple Pods. I'm kind of new to this, so I know them all. Amazon Music. Yeah, or our website. My website, tony-maietta.com, has a link to it. I know Brad's does too, the bradshreve.com.
Yep. Perfect. All right. Are you ready for our get to know you questions?
Yes, absolutely.
Take it away, Baz.
All right. In this year of diving deeper, what is your favorite writing snack or drink? But let's say your creative mode. What is your favorite?
Oh, like any writer, I'm not averse to a drink while I'm writing. Good glass, of course, if it's the morning.
And tell him to put some gin in it.
Put some gin in it. Yeah, I do love a good glass of wine while I'm writing. I gotta say, some wine and some cheese. The creative juices have a tendency to flow, but you got to be careful. You have to stop at one, or Lane Stritch would stop at two. But and then an intermission for a little backup. Otherwise, you start writing gibberish. So yeah,
right.
Good glass of cab.
I just went to Diane Weist's line from Broadway.
Bulls Over Broadway.
Yeah. Oh, you want one too?
You want one too? 2 more things. Oh, you want one too?
All right. Well, what books
Love
did
that
you
movie.
read growing up?
Well, since I was a film and TV fanatic, they were all TV books. I remember this one book, my favorite book when I was a kid, was this huge picture book. It had words in it too, but it was called The Great TV Sitcom Book. I mean, this is the stuff I did. Remember that? Rick Mintz?
Yeah.
I just got it again on Amazon. I couldn't believe it was still available. I loved this book. It really set the tone for me of how I thought about TV, about entertainment. There was a book called Lucy, Ricky, Fred, and Ethel, which was, I think, by Bart Andrews, which I think was the very first comprehensive book about I Love Lucy, which I ate up. I mean, it was incredible. So yeah, they were all theater and film books, always.
Yeah, I remember reading the Say Goodnight Gracie by George Burns, and I cried at the end of that book when she died.
I had Life as a Banquet too. That's right behind you. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's a great book.
All right. So who's been the biggest supporter of your writing?
Well, my mother, as I was, like I said, as I was trying to get a job as an actor, she'd say, but you're a writer. And I'd say, I'm an actor. And she'd say, you're a writer. So yeah, God bless her. She was right. She knew it.
All right. So are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm a total morning person. I'm a complete morning person. I get up so early, it's ridiculous.
It's
the only time you get anything done in this town, Right? It's the only time before 6 a.m. You can't do anything else. So yeah, I'm ready for a nap by 10:30. So
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, as we get older, power naps are a thing.
they're the best.
My usual go-to for explanation for people is that I love to get up in the morning and get stuff done because all the crappy people are still sleeping.
Exactly. All the nut jobs are out later, so you can get
Right.
things done. And in LA, you can't get anywhere,
Right.
so you
True.
got to go before 7 a.m. Otherwise, forget about it. You're
Okay, well,
screwed.
what's your favorite hobby outside of all your creative goings on?
I am so stereotypical. I am a bit of a gym rat. I think that it helps so much with my mindset, so I can't drink in the morning, so I'm going to work out. And then in the evening, I can have a cocktail. It helps. Yeah.
Okay, all right, there
I
you
do
go.
a lot of exercise.
All right, well, has writing and publishing a book changed how you see yourself?
No, I always thought I was fabulous. I'm not kidding.
Best
not
answer
true
of
at
the
all.
year.
Not true
right.
at all.
Yeah.
I'm very literate. As Gloria Upton says, books are so literate.
Yeah,
And
right.
well, books are so decorative.
Awfully literate.
Books are awfully decorative.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, a little bit. It's kind of nice to say, hey, I've written a book. And it's been published. That's always, I've had a couple actually, but this one in particular, the Marble Faun of Grey Gardens, is one I'm tremendously proud of, because it was a project which I started and saw through to the end. So I really, really, I see you guys.
All right.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's okay at this. I've been noticing that when you do freeze, it does feed us through what you say. So let's just continue to write it out like we're doing, and I think we'll be okay.
Great.
Right
out the storm.
Right. On sidebar. Have you ever traveled as research for a book? Please tell me you went to Grey Gardens.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
A couple times. Oh yeah, I had to. I went there before I started writing the book.
Oh,
Yes, I have done that. I visited Minneapolis many times.
I was going to ask if you've been to the Mary Tyler Moore statue.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A couple times. Yes, it's more a personal thing. I'm like, I'll do this and maybe this is for a project, or I would tell somebody I need to travel for a project and I just want to go on a trip. But yeah, I find that I travel for pleasure, then that inspires me.
Yes.
Like going to San Francisco and tracking down all the sites from What's Up Doc and seeing all the damage they did when they were making the film.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me want to write about this. Or, Grey Gardens was certainly in New York. My God, you can't, any street corner in New York, go to the plaza and, the last scene of The Way We Were, or the great scene in Arthur outside of Bergdorf Goodman's. I mean, those always inspire me.
So I kind of casual.
Yeah, such a great movie. I love that movie. Who doesn't love that movie?
John Gielgud has just killed it.
He's incredible. I mean, a genius actor, and he wins for this little comedy, which is just phenomenon. And so it's kind of the reverse. I travel and then I get inspired by the travel.
Nice.
Excellent. All right. Well, final question. How do you celebrate when you finish a work?
How do I celebrate? Yeah, how do I celebrate when I finish a work? I don't feel like they're ever finished. That's the thing. So I don't know. Because this one keeps going, thank God. And I think that it just keeps on going. What do they say? You walk away, something's finished when you walk away from it. Otherwise you just keep working and working and working. So when it happens, I'll let you know.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, that's it. You made it through the list. Bravo.
Yay. That was fun.
So what have you got coming up next that you want people to see and hear about?
Well, there's the podcast, Going Hollywood podcast, which, I'm very excited about, which is happening right now. And hopefully this thing is going to be a TV show. So just keep your eyes peeled for a platform sometime in the next, God knows how many years. Yeah. And I just did a documentary on Vincente Minnelli, which was a lot of fun, which should be out. Yeah, which should be out next year. And that was really exciting. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Have you ever seen Matteo Lane's impersonation of Liza Minnelli? It's just killer.
Yes.
It's just killer.
Isn't that hysterical? I mean, I thought Christine Petty was off the charts, but he's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near that talented. I do a pretty good Brando. Brad doesn't think I do a good Brando. I think I do a good Brando. But Brad said it was a cross between Pee Wee Herman and Marlon Brando.
Oh my.
Yeah, like their love child. But I do Brando singing. So, from Guys and Dolls, this is your eyes are the eyes of a woman in love. And so that's what I do, Brando. So
I love it. Thank you for that.
sure.
All right. So
You poor
folks
people.
should follow you on the social sites. They can link to those off of your website, which was again tony-maietta.com. Anything else you want people to know?
I'm on the Facebooks. I'm on the Instagram. The Instagram is TCMTOO. Please listen to the podcast. We're getting some great reviews, but we love people to listen and give us suggestions about things they want us to talk about. We're open to anything. We'll talk about anything, the two of us. So
Agnes
Awesome.
Moorehead is the spirit animal for all gays. Discuss.
It's kind of true. It's kind of true.
I keep saying.
The gayest show in the world, Bewitched, the gayest show in the world.
Off
It's just
show, I'll tell you
hysterical.
quickly a story about Agnes Moorehead that I think you'll love. So, but we'll do
Okay,
that
cool.
after the show. On sidebar.
I'd love to hear it.
All right. Any final words of wisdom, Tony?
Never let him see you ache. That's what Mr. Mayor used to say.
Nice.
Or was it ass? Never let him see your ass.
One of those.
That's from
It's
Postcards from the
contextual.
Edge. Vance was like, where is he going with this?
I know.
No, I got it. But folks, we'd like to extend a huge thank you to Tony Maietta for joining us. Tony, thank you so much for jumping in and coming and having fun with us today.
Thank you guys. I had a ball.
Yay. All right, we at Written on the Edge are proud to introduce you to new media by queer content creators. So if you enjoy learning about new artists or hearing our thoughts on entertainment media, like and subscribe so you get the alerts for new episodes. The show is produced by Rogue Ravens Media. For our disclaimers, links to social media, our listen stations, or to sign up as a guest, visit www.roguepodcast.com. Tune in next week for your queer media fix.
Bye-bye now.
Oh, what's that? Closing time. The bums rush in Melody, dear.